What's going on, investors? My name is Emmanuel, and in this video I'll walk you through the two main stocks that I sold this week. Now, these companies, I didn't want to sell them, but I did sell them because one of them, the valuations went absolutely crazy. And I read this article from Cathie Wood's ARK Invest talking about a valuation reset which she sees coming. So I'm going to highlight some of the key points that I got from this article, and that was the reason why I sold one of them. And the other I sold pretty much to free up some capital. I mean, this company went nowhere for the past 6 months, and you probably guess which company I'm talking about, but I did sell it just to free up some capital, and I have no regrets selling this company. Again, there is nothing wrong with the company, but I just didn't see much growth being invested in the company in the middle of a bull market. So how much more us going into a bear market? So I did seize the opportunity to sell at a good price. It did free up some capital, and I'll be walking you through all of that. However, if you want to know what I'm buying and selling in real time, then you need to join my Discord group. All of my Discord members were aware of when I purchased these companies and when I sold. I did sell both of them in profit. One was more profitable than the other, and again, you'll see all of that in this video. But if you definitely want to be up to date with what I'm doing, join my Discord group. The link is in the description below. And also, if this is your first time on my channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. So with that said, let's dive straight into the video. So this article was published recently on the 24th of February 2021. And the headline is ARK Invest Cathie Wood warns valuation reset coming. And this was based off an interview that Cathie Wood had recently on CNBC. Now, this was a key paragraph that stood out to me, and also stood out to me on the interview. And she pretty much detailed her plan going into the correction that we're currently in. And she said, what we'll do during a correction, especially a severe correction like the C. Roney presented, we will sell names which are creating losses now because, again, we've bought them, we've diversified and bought them more recently. Sell those names creating losses to buy our highest conviction companies. So with regards to this paragraph, it's pretty much broken down into two parts, right? The first part was that she's going to sell companies that are creating losses. So these are companies that pretty much have no PE ratio and their valuations are crazy. And if you're familiar with the companies in ARK Invest ETFs, a lot of them are actually not profitable at the moment. And the second part of this paragraph states that they are willing to buy more of their high conviction names. And if you know Cathie Woods really well, she's talking about Tesla, she's talking about Square. The high conviction stocks are the ones that typically have the highest percentage holding in that portfolio. So I do like this strategy. I've learned from this strategy, and I'm also going to apply it in my own portfolio as we work our way through this current correction that we're in. So with that said, the first company that I sold recently was Airbnb. Ticker symbol is ABNB, and this company, just the valuations make no sense, okay? Because recently Airbnb announced their quarterly earnings, and as you can see here, Airbnb actually reported a 3.89 billion loss in the first quarterly report since IPO, but beats on revenue expectations. But again, they lost 3.89 billion. However, their market cap is 123 billion. That makes absolutely no sense. And don't get me wrong, I'm well aware that people will start traveling again. And of course, they'll be using apps like Airbnb and Booking.com. But as of right now, this current market cap of 123 billion for a company that lost 3.89 billion makes no sense to me. All right. And I purchased Airbnb around the 14th of December, and I alerted all my Discord members. I said, started a new position in Airbnb at $127.80. I've invested only 25% of my entire intended budget, and I'll be looking to add if we can hit $120 and then $115. My long-term price target for this stock is $200 within the next 2 to 3 years. So that was my plan going in. But if you've been following Airbnb recently, then you know the share price went absolutely berserk. So the yellow line represents when I picked up the share. So again, on the 14th of December. And I know they say you can't time the bottom, but that was pretty good. I timed that quite well because it went on an absolute tear. It went on an absolute tear, and it's currently up 61% from my purchase price. Now, remember, I said my price target was $200 within the next 2 to 3 years, but it only took 2 months. It only took 2 to 3 months, which was crazy. And also from my strategy, I never like to go all in. I like to set a maximum budget. So in this case, my maximum budget for Airbnb was about £10,000. And I usually start a position. I invest no more than 30% initially. And then if price declines, then I add, because I'm well aware that I cannot time the market. Even though this looks like I timed it beautifully, I was more than prepared to add if we saw Airbnb drop lower. But in this case, it didn't. It went on a complete tear, and it smashed through my price targets within 2 to 3 months. And I personally think it was absolutely unjustified, and a lot of FOMO was baked into this share price action, if you were to ask me. So as you saw, I picked up Airbnb at a cost price of $127.80. I only purchased 25 shares, which cost me $3,000. So that was about 25-30% of my intended budget. And of course, I never got an opportunity to add again because it didn't drop lower than that. And I didn't really feel right averaging up because I felt the valuations were crazy. So I sold Airbnb at exactly $200 recently. And that gave me a gain of 56% on my money. And that resulted with a profit of $1,790. I know it says unrealized profits, but of course the outcome, I did sell at that price. And that was my profit that I took away from this investment. So Airbnb was my first investment that I sold this week. Now moving on, the second company that I sold this week was Amazon. Ticker symbol is AMZN. Now, if you look at the share price for Amazon, and this is what I was saying, I've held Amazon for about a total of 8 months. I started buying Amazon back in April. Amazon was amongst those companies that had a rapid rise after the decline in March. So my cost price for Amazon was about $2,700. But as you can see, for the past 6 months, okay, Amazon, where is it? It's actually down. It's down 10% after 6 months, in the middle of a bull market. And the main reason why I think that is because the share price. It is so expensive right now. And Jeff Bezos has made it very clear he is not too keen on a stock split. And of course, Amazon now has a new CEO, but Jeff Bezos still remains on the board. And I'm sure he still has a massive influence on Amazon's share price. So do I see the new CEO introducing a stock split? I don't think so. I really can't see that happening. If it does happen, it will be great. I mean, the last time Amazon had a stock split was back in 1999. They had 2 stock splits in 1999, and that was the last time they have done a stock split. So you're talking well over 2 decades. And I honestly don't think Jeff Bezos will entertain the idea of a stock split. And I had a lot of money tied up in this company. And my initial plan was to wait for the Q4 results to come out. And hopefully the results from our Q4 might have a positive impact on the share price. And as you can see, Amazon absolutely killed Q4. We reported 125 billion in revenue. But did that move the share price? Not in the slightest. And if anything, price is actually down 8% since they reported their earnings. We're currently in a market whereby earnings is not enough to see the share price go up. However, at this current share price, in the current correction that we're in right now, it's going to take nothing but a miracle to move Amazon any higher. So I decided to sell my entire holdings of Amazon. And as you can see here, my average price for Amazon was $2,790. I did buy it in the low 2000s, but I did average up as the share price kept on moving up higher. I had a total of 10 shares at a cost price of $27,916.60. So you can see why I said selling my entire holding of Amazon freed up a ton of cash to be able to capitalize on bigger opportunities that are being presented right now. My price target initially was $4,000. As you know, Amazon hasn't reached that. That would have given me a percent profit of 43%. But I ended up selling at 3,160. So I didn't hit my price target, but I don't really care. It freed up a ton of cash for me to be able to invest in companies like Palantir, for companies like Tattooed Chef, for companies like Black Sky, Holicity, and it just significantly boosted my cash pile. So those are the 2 companies that I sold. If you did any selling this week, let me know in the comment section below. But remember, none of this is financial advice. I do think these companies are brilliant companies. I will consider buying Airbnb again if the valuations start to make sense. But as of right now, these two companies are out of my growth stock portfolio. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you sold this week and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.